and welcome back to more The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. So last time we completed the 6th dungeon, and we should be going to, the 7th dungeon, but instead we have some unfinished business over by the raft minigame, actually directly involving the raft minigame. So, if we are going for 100%, that means we need to get all of the chamber stones. And to get the chamber stones, you need, well, all of them. To get one specifically, you need to do the Rapids race in under 30 seconds. Will I be able to do it? I am not sure. I have 1100 rupees, well now 1000 rupees, because that's how confident I am in doing this. I think it could very easily take 5 or 6 tries at the minimum. I looked up some tips, so let's see if I can actually apply said tips. So like hookshot there to easily go down the waterfall. Yeah, you just really want to zip everywhere, basically. Like so. Just really speed through. I think this is mildly slower than the actual good path. Also, you can hookshot the trees. I keep forgetting to do that. This is actually farther than I thought we'd get on our first run. You know, we got pretty close, actually. Only a second off, and I kind of dawdled a little bit, and we got enough rupees to try again. So if we get, like, around 35 seconds, we can keep trying as many times as we want. By the way, this is going to be kind of the minigame episode, because we have another minigame to get through after this. So while we're here, I felt like I should clarify something I said at the end of the last, part about Link kind of being the bad guy in this circumstance. To clarify, you know, the nightmare monsters are still, like, you know, trying to conquer this island, so they're not exactly innocent in this whole situation either. So yeah, you can hookshot the tree to get some momentum there. This is actually looking pretty promising. I don't think it's gonna be 30 seconds, though. Okay, barely got it. That actually took a lot less time than I expected. Your time was 29.88. That's the time you can be proud of. You won a chamber stone. Who knows what lurks inside? You got a chamber stone. Holding it gives you an eerie feeling. You really went for it. I'll give you another 100 rupees for that. Nice. So we're gonna call it here for this. Can I use Monbo's Mambo while on the raft? It looks like that is a yes. So that's convenient that I don't have to navigate off of the raft again. So next up we have 2 secret seashells. I am not sure if there's also a chamber stone yet. Or if that's a little bit later. We are heading back to Mabe Village to do more fishing. Because they added more rewards to the fishing game, as we've already seen, and we still haven't scratched the surface of the new rewards. Where the heck is the fishing minigame? I actually don't know where it is. The thing is, it's only really done at the beginning of the original game, so I tend to forget where it actually is, since you only do it like once at the beginning normally. In this one, obviously, you do it a few times. Again, there are chamber stones attached to this minigame. I'm pretty sure we can't get them yet until a later dungeon. So, we are looking for 2 specific type of fish. So that's gonna be interesting to try to get these in a timely fashion. But yeah, to clarify, obviously, you know, the enemies are trying to keep the windfish asleep so they can, like, conquer the island, so that's not great. But yeah, I mean more like, you know, for the other people on the island, you know, the inhabitants of the towns and such. It's kind of sad that they're gonna disappear once we wake up the windfish, assuming that rumor is true, because as the owl said, as far as we're aware so far, it's just a rumor. So I'm not sure what the actual method is for this, if you need to catch fish and then the new ones will spawn in over time. Now one fish is just being really stubborn. Maybe it's the wrong lure for this small of a fish, that's probably what it is. But yeah, there's a lot of new types of fish that were not in the original, which is kind of cool and kind of, again, a little bit padding. I know Majora's Mask, for an example, had a new fishing area, which, I feel like the fishing in Majora's Mask was a little bit polarizing because it didn't really contribute a whole lot to the core experience from what I recall. I don't even know if I did it. I love Majora's Mask. I don't remember if I actually did the fishing or not in the remake. I really want Majora's Mask 3D and Ocarina of Time 3D in a bundle. They wouldn't be that hard to put over on Switch, I think. The Switch has plenty of buttons for it. Instead of the two touchscreen buttons, you can always map them to the bumpers. You know, you have the D-pad and everything. It could work. The only thing that would be awkward is, you know, not having, the map on the bottom of the screen, which is actually kind of nice in games like Zelda. But yeah, we're looking for two specific type of fish. As we're doing this, I did want to mention that, I actually can't remember the number of chamber stones off the top of my head. I want to say it's either 17 or 14. And I don't remember which one it is. A disgusting number of them are bought in the shop for 1280 rupees each, so again, there's a very good chance you might have to do some rupee grinding, even if you do the chamber dungeons, because those do give you rupees, obviously. But you might still need to grind at some point, because that's how many rupees it takes. Obviously the river rapids can be expensive if you don't do it, like, quickly. Again, I had to look up, like, tips, because I wasn't quite figuring it out on my own. Second try on the second attempt wasn't too horrible. I hope the guide's right and that these fish actually do spawn here, because, I'm starting to kind of lose hope here. So yeah, I kind of tap slowly when they're pulling away, because I don't want it to get too far away. Link's sprite, when he catches a fish, he looks so happy all the time. I do find the fishing, kinda nice. You know, obviously giving you more of a reason to do it is always appreciated. But again, the rewards are just seashells that, you know, weren't even in the original game, so whether it's, you know, padding or not, obviously is up for debate. The amount of the new content is appreciated personally, but again, I do agree with some complaints that it's not terribly meaningful, like the fairy bottles. You know, it's nice having free heals, however, do you really need free heals? Because you don't really heal that much in this game to begin with. Okay, where the heck are these new fish? Again, my strategy is to just catch the existing fish, because that kind of gets new fish to spawn in faster. I think mashing is faster. I've been kind of holding the button to reel back, and I should probably be mashing it to speed this up. There's one! Okay, I'm gonna actually draw this back, because that is our fish we want. This is a Cheep sheep. We saw a lot of Cheep sheeps in the last dungeon, and lo and behold, we can now catch one. That didn't actually take as long as I thought it would, and it still took quite a long time, so I think that says a lot about how long I was expecting this to take. Oh, come on. Obviously, Cheep sheeps are gonna be a little harder to catch than our regular fish. It's being really stubborn about grabbing the line. There it goes. Again, we don't want to fight it. We don't want to be mashing the button when it tries to jump out of the water, case in point. So yeah, I was trying to play too aggressively there. So now we play the waiting game of waiting for a new one to spawn in, so that's fun. Again, like, a lot of fish have different patterns to how, like, aggressive you have to be to reel them in. I definitely went a little bit overboard there. There's some trick to when it jumps, but I can't exactly remember what it is. I also wish there was a better way to spawn in fish. I think of, like, Animal Crossing, where you have bait to lure in new fish. That'd be really nice. Or like a shuffle option to just shuffle all the fish in the pond. Obviously not realistic, but it would be kind of appreciated, actually. I feel like the Cheep spawns closest to the back, so catching this fish probably won't help us very much. But hey, we can get some rupees out of it. We definitely need them for later. But yeah, I wish I could remember the technique for catching the Cheep specifically. Because we may be here otherwise, for quite a while. Oh, by the way, there's actually a second rare fish as well. Fish in air quotes, I should say. Which I guess should be kind of a hint on what it is, based on previous underwater enemies we've encountered. Yeah, fish being relative in this case. But I think to catch the next one, it should be after the Cheep, like it's sequential, where if you catch the Cheep, then you can catch the next rare fish. Problem, waiting for the Cheep. I feel like catching the fish is the best way to get the new fish to spawn in, because it doesn't feel like they despawn on their own. Again, I don't know why the fish are being sort of stubborn today. Maybe it's the type of lure. Maybe the upper fish respond better to the lightweight lure. Yeah, because they were not going for it for some reason. Yeah, there's a new fish that spawned in, but it's not the right size. So again, just haven't kind of played the waiting game. I feel like, once we get to the later fishing, I might even want to cut out some of this, because the other fish are even rarer than these two. Harder to find. That's a large fish. I think I'm gonna catch it just for the rupees. At this point, I kind of want to show this in great detail because of just how long it's taking. I hope it doesn't take like 2 parts just to catch this stupid fish. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the jump. I forgot it did that, and that kind of threw off my rhythm. I like how Link's face turns red as he's reeling in as well, and that's a good detail. So, we are technically turning a profit, so that's always a good sign. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I had any other topics I wanted to bring up. This is the 4th Zelda game, so it actually, well, originally was the 4th Zelda game, so it's actually pretty notable. Again, partly because it was a handheld game, and yeah, it was really well known for its, like, storytelling. It's very subtle storytelling. But something I wanted to point out was that the writer of the story, from what I recall, is the same writer as, the storybook sections in, Super Mario Galaxy. And also, I think the lead, designer of Odyssey, if I'm not mistaken, Yoshiaki Koizumi. Feels like he does, like, a lot of the more deep plot lines in Nintendo games, compared to a lot of the other developers who tend to go for more, you know, basic kinda gameplay-focused experiences, while, Koizumi seems to kind of go for, you know, a mix of telling a good story and also throwing in some, or good gameplay and also throwing in some curveballs with the narrative, which I actually really appreciate. I wish, frankly, more developers at Nintendo did that. So yeah, when it kind of tries to fight us, we want to let go. Yeah, we don't want to mash A when it jumps, if I'm not mistaken. Almost. There we go. We got the Cheep. You caught a Cheep. Since when did they swim in these waters? Wow, a 19.81-inch fish. That's a lunker. Quite a catch. That one will earn you 30 rupees. Is there something caught in the Cheep's mouth? You found a secret seashell. If you collect a lot of these, there could be something in it for you. We're not done. Sadly. We are not done. That's why I said this would probably be the minigame episode, because I had a feeling this would take a while. We still have one more fish to find. Fish, again, in air quotes. And this one's also kind of a doozy, if I'm not mistaken, so this is gonna be fun. I feel like this is like fishing done right, because it's generally optional. You know, if I'm not mistaken, to actually get the sword, you only need 40 secret seashells, so you could skip a lot of these. If I'm not mistaken, 50 is a chamber stone. Again, for the sake of 100%, we have to go for it. But if you just want the upgraded sword, you can just skip this. You know, in a game like Sonic Adventure, you basically have to do all the fishing. And I feel like the non-optional nature of a lot of Sonic Adventure's alternate styles is why the alternate styles are so unpopular. Because a lot of games have like gameplay mechanics that kind of don't entirely match the rest of the style of the game. Again, like, why would you go fishing in a Zelda game? But when it's optional and all you get is, like, you know, a piece of heart and Ocarina of Time, if I'm not mistaken, or, like, you know, secret seashells, like a couple pieces of heart for the easier fish in this game, it definitely doesn't feel as bad. It's still a little bit unnecessary, but yeah, it doesn't feel quite as out of place, if that makes sense. Alright. Again, we're just emptying out this pond, basically. Also, with these small fish, you don't have to worry about button mashing as much. So I think I'm gonna do something. We're almost at time. You landed a little fish, just like you, a small but has plenty of fight. It's a 14.34-inch runt, etc. We are gonna keep going. But I think I'm gonna sit here for a while. I might continue the fish, and when we come back, I think I'll queue it up to start the next part once the next rare fish is actively on screen, so we don't spend another, you know, 15 minutes trying to catch this fish. So, with that being said, we're gonna hopefully get the next secret seashell pretty soon. And yeah, and next time we'll also start working towards our next dungeon. So with that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.